Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be doing a noob's guide to speed sets. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so speed sets. What are we going to be wanting to do in order to make our character run like 10 times faster? Well, what you're going to be wanting to do for the basics, absolute basics, is by making sure that you actually have your 3 pieces of Azurite armor and make sure that they have the Long Strider trait on them. Long Strider trait is absolutely amazing because it increases your movement speed by 21% of your highest secondary rating up to 6%. This is absolutely amazing in order to actually run 10 times faster, and this is the basic outline in order to build a speed set in BFA. Now, that being the case, those Azurite armor pieces are fairly easy to get a hold of. Just do your dailies or do your basics. Make sure that if you're leveling a 110 in order to do this, that you cancel out their XP gains in order to get a hold of the gear, and along with that be able to get the rest of the buffs on this list. If you don't, then you can still follow this, but remember when I say that they're for 110s, you will not be able to gain the effect of this bonus if you are not 110 on your character, such as my druid at this moment in time. The next item of note for a noob's guide to speed sets is the Explorer's Walking Stick, and the Explorer's Walking Stick is fairly easy to get a hold of. This can be actually obtained in Zangarmarsh in the Outland in the Cenarian Refugee or Refuge. And basically you come over to the Quartermaster right over here and you can buy this if you are now honoured with the Cenarian Expedition. This will cost you around about 36 gold, and upon equipping this item it actually increases your movement speed slightly. Another item of note that you can use if you can't use staffs, then I would recommend going all the way over to Stratholme and farming up Lord Arius Rivendare. He has a chance of dropping at a 3% drop chance the Runeblade of Baron Rivendare, which increases your movement speed by 10%, which is absolutely helpful if you can use a two-handed sword as well. So not only is the walking stick amazing to use, if you are an arms warrior, then I do recommend trying to get a hold of both of the rune blades. If not, and you can only get hold of one rune blade, you can also get a hold of the walking stick, and not only that, you can also get the walking stick as well, so you can then dual wield these items. But personally, in order to get the maximum amount of effect, I would just go for both of the rune blades of Baron Rivendare. Now obviously you can't just go into the main entrance of Stratholme when you're actually farming up this blade. You will have to go into the service entrance, which is on the right hand side of Stratholme, where you'll see a nice little gate in order to get into. This is located in the Eastern Plaguelands right about here, and it is a fairly easy place to get to in order to do this run. Now for the 110 gear, the 110 gear is fairly simple to get a hold of. You're going to be wanting to get a hold of one of your legendaries, and such as my druid, when she was 110, she had the Sentinel Eternal Refugee boots. These give you an on-kill effect, which gives you a 5% increase on your movement speed, and it can stack up to 25%. This is greatly amazing if you are actually farming old dungeons, which if you do watch my channel, you obviously know that I do a lot of dungeon runs, so it is rather effective for your character. The next item that you can obtain for 110 items is Sephar's Secret, which is a ring that can be purchased from the trainer over here and located in the Legion Dalaran. You can buy this for 1000 Waking Essence. It gives you a 10% movement speed on equipping, or if you're using an interrupt such as Soothe or Entangling Roots, this will give you a bonus effect of 70% increased movement speed for over 10 seconds. This is really handy for actually farming up old dungeons, because I use Soothe quite a lot and Entangling Roots quite a bit as well. This is so I can gather up all of my mobs really effectively and fast. But then I don't have to worry about all the other jazz that comes along with that. The next item that you will be wanting to get a hold of is the Hunger of the Pack, and this can be farmed up in the Halls of Valor. And this trinket can actually give you a 30% increase for 10 seconds upon killing a creature when you're actually farming. So obviously you're killing monsters all the time, so an increase of 30% to your character is very, very handy when you're actually farming up old content. I do especially love this trinket, and I'd have this on my Demon Hunter. Moving on to enchants and buffs, you can obtain an enchant which is a low level enchant, so you'll have to have a low tier piece of gear in order to put this enchant on. But this enchant for your cloak is called the Gift of Haste, and this gives you a 2% increase on your movement speed, which will help in the long run when you actually just base movement speed running. The next one is Windwalk. Windwalk is an enchant that you can equip to the walking stick or Baron Rivendare's sword, and it can be picked up off of the auction house fairly cheaply. I've seen it for around about 200 gold, so you're not going to break the bank while getting this enchant. If you're an enchanter, even better, because you will be saving some gold. The next buff that I would like to talk about is an engineering trait, and for engineering, and it is called Nitro Boost. This gives you a slightly of an increase on your movement speed, but it does have a couple of negative effects like bouncing you back and all that jazz. If you do use it, you must be aware in order to do this. But to be honest, I don't really find a problem while using this when speed running through my old content, because I find that the movement speed gain that you gain from it helps you clear the dungeon even faster. Now, the last one on our list is buffs, and that is the Bear Tartar. The Bear Tartar is a great item in order to still use even today, and it gives you a movement speed increase when you actually kill an enemy. So after you've killed an enemy, you gain a movement speed buff. Obviously this got nerfed at the end of Legion, but now it is still quite prevalent when you're actually farming up old dungeons. And to be honest, for the market value of around about 10 gold a piece for an hour's buff is pretty good when you're actually farming up transmog items and all that jazz, because you're most likely going to be getting that gold back. So that is a basic overview on how to build a speed set. I hope you found this informative, and if I have forgotten anything, please put it in the comment section down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Other than that, guys, have a lovely rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video as and when. Bye bye.